Ooh, baby. I am in for some vampiric erotic pleasure with this game. BloodRayne is a third-person hack-and-slash and shooter that was developed by Terminal Games on the Inferno engine and the Open Dynamics engine in 2002 for the PC, PS2, Xbox and GameCube, and the Macintosh OS X. And this was strongly influenced by the previous game, Nocturne, which was a survival game made in 1999. Well, 3 years back. BloodRayne has to be one of the overlooked game franchises of all time. The franchise itself has been pretty successful, as it gained a cult following, a sequel in 2004, and another game which was basically a Metroidvania 2D side-scroller in 2011. And a bunch of fucking shitty movie adaptations directed by Uwe Boll. I can't really say his fucking name. Which were boring as fuck. And also some comic books which I haven't really got around reading yet. This time we are reviewing the first game that started it all. Now you may be wondering, is the game any good? Well, this is the reason why we are here to find out. So the game takes place in 1933, where people are believing in vampires and going all crazy with the crosses to repel against the vampires. As you see the opening cinematic, you know what you're getting into.
Picked a dangerous place to feed.
She's hunting, looking for her father.
The Brimstone Society.
The Brimstone Society needs her. We will extend the invitation. Time to go.
Playing this as a kid, this was some pretty hardcore shit, and even to this day I never even knew who these two mysterious men are watching from the tower were. I mean, it's just like the other vampire games I used to play, like the Legacy of Kain series. So basically, you begin the game in Brimstone Society when it appears to be a massive disease that's turning people into mutants and zombies, and also creating the weird spider demon, as the whole area is pretty much flooded, well, like the tsunami from 2004 came like 70 years earlier. First off, the game does start off kind of slow during its tutorial, when you're guided by this one woman 15% of the game, as you're killing zombies and spiders through a flooded swamp of where some village used to be. The fun thing about BloodRayne is that you get to slice off enemies' limbs and even decapitate their heads before the blood comes gushing out. You can even pull enemies towards you with a harpoon and pin them down whilst you neck bite them whilst Rain is making these orgasmic noises, which I bet is going to give you the weirdest boner you could possibly get when she's doing it to a zombie or even a beast at this point. Nice. Necrophilia and bestiality for the win, folks. During the rest of the game, it doesn't seem to pick up until the Act 2 1939 when you go into the Nazi base and start hacking and slashing the SS members in a very gory and satisfying way, as well as dual-wielding guns such as shotguns, rocket launchers, pistols and machine guns, and more. And even when you go into Bloodlust mode, it's even more satisfying when you're hacking and slashing everybody in slow motion while just everybody's guns is just flying around and shit. I mean, when I was a kid whilst playing this, I didn't get quite into it whilst around Act 1 since it was kind of mediocre compared to the other 3 acts in the game. As you can see by the use of the alternate swastika, I don't think the developers got the right to use the Nazi swastika by the looks of it. And even though this is a game from 2002 where they're killing Nazis, it's actually fun and not pandering. Well, you know, like what the SJW Snowflakes did with Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus, when their Twitter was posting stuff like, punch a Nazi or make America Nazi free again, when all these social justice warriors are just assuming that this is some sort of like political message against Trump by saying, right on! Fuck the Nazis! Nazis get owned! Punch Nazis! Nazis are bad people! Oh man, did you realize that these fucking Nazis committed World War II and killed the Jews in the death camp? For like the millionth time? Oh my god, I never even fucking knew that! Oh my god.
What you say? You say you're a Nazi?
No, I am not a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi, okay?
You ain't a white-ass fascist Nazi pig, then you either colored or you're a deviant. Are you sure as hell ain't colored, so you trying to pass as a deviant? He look like a deviant to you, Sister Grace?
Nope. White America, though? Huh. They done packed up and given in. See, I guess they don't have the fighting spirit no more. Nah, they just do whatever the fucking Fuhrer tells them to do.
That's baloney.
When they're totally missing the whole point of the fucking game in the first place. I mean, to be honest, I don't want a political message shoved down my throat whilst I'm playing the game, thank you very much. I mean, I just don't care. I mean, I just want to shoot some goddamn fucking Nazis and slice them apart. Which, apparently, BloodRayne doesn't fuck around and actually gets to the fucking point when you can just kill Nazis, demons, and even vampires. I mean, when it comes to the hack and slash mechanics, it's kind of clunky whilst you're slicing an enemy, whilst he's just standing there. Most of the time, you would be doing the same old slice and dice and kick attack every time you try to kill an enemy, which looks pretty crappy even by today's standards. Most of the time, whilst you're out killing Nazis, you're mostly killing generals, who mostly act as bosses, mind you. Which does seem pretty rewarding and pretty fun. Like, later on in the game, you have to fight these beasts in the castle who are pretty hard to take down and seem to take a load of damage, as well as being a fucking pain in the ass. The areas in the game seem to be the most interesting and most appealing when you're travelling through dungeons and castles full of industrial technology such as the robot you get to try out for basically a short period of time. Now for the PS2 version of the game, people have been complaining that you have to press R1 to attack or shoot, which again I know is just questionable control mapping, but I have no issues with pressing that since it really didn't feel clunky at all, nor did it even ruin the gaming experience for me though. But yet again, I played on PC though, but still. I mean, it's fucking ironic that you fucking nerds are bitching about R1 being the attack button when Dark Souls actually has the same exact fucking thing as this game does, and nobody even bitches about that.
Meh, but Jesus, it's an RPG and this game is just an old hack and slash title from the early 2000s. Whee!
But I don't think that excuses the whole press R1 to attack or shoot argument, but okay, like, whatever. But this may be spoilers to a few people, but honestly, I have to talk about the final boss. Because I swear to fuck, the final boss is fucking terrible. Now, I assume that this may be poorly coded and developed, but this fucking boss is awful. Since I tried doing melee attacks on him, which doesn't seem to do any damage. The only way to fucking beat him is with the guns that are placed around the final area, where even though when you run out of ammo, none of the guns respawn, just so you can beat him. Since the boss would just kill you anyway, or he would just scale himself to the point where he could just when you actually die. That is pretty fucking inexcusable, and it just shows how buggy and glitchy the final boss is. And I just didn't know what else to do to beat the boss, so basically I just did the pussy's way out and just grabbed a trainer off the internet. So I just beat the boss that way, since this game, even on PC, is just kind of buggy. Or maybe it's just the way of how I'm running this 2002 game, well basically on a Windows 10 computers, since there are a load of bugs whilst running this game on modern hardware. Since you're going to have to look up a tutorial on how to tweak it around a bit, just so it could run smoothly on Windows 10. Fortunately, the game runs like a charm on Windows 7 after emulating it through VirtualBox or VMware. Like, I can't remember, this was like fucking 2 or 3 years ago I basically did this though. Which is a chore to get running unless if you go into a BIOS and basically allow virtual emulation on your computer. Besides from that, there are around 5 endings in the game. 1 bad, 1 good. Now, would I recommend this game? You bet your sweet ass I do. This game is pretty fun with the hardcore gameplay and the vampire lore. I mean, if you like hacking off enemies' limbs and bimbo bitches sucking on people's blood, while some redheaded bimbo bitches orgasms over drinking blood, then go ahead. This is the game for you. I mean, if a game like this came out in this day and age, feminists and SJWs would be criticizing this game for being sexist fan service and just bloody for the sake of being bloody. And also autists with spaghetti arms saying the same shit about what I said about the Wolfenstein 2 game. My final verdict will have to be a 7 out of 10. Great game from the past, but it has its problems to the point where it fucking shows. Anyways, this has been Jesus with Bazooka Songs 9 with another review, and I hope to see you fucking nerds in the near future. Bye, motherfuckers.